Hi, this is Dr. Francis Yu. We're talking about the Enneagram for physicians, and we are talking about the type 2. And in particular, in this video, we'll talk about the self sabotage mechanism, the imposter syndrome, and the general hiccups and places where the type 2 needs a little help or a lot of help. Because the major thing about the type 2 person, the physician, is that they want to help. They want to be there and contribute in some way and offer themselves something that they can do. They want to be there and give, offer, serve, provide. In other words, they are usually the ones that are helping, although they are also people and they also need help. But whenever the chance arises, they take up the mantle to be helping somebody else. And since they're always in this constantly helping someone in need mode, it's difficult for themselves to ask for help and to get help and to just be in a place where they realize, I can't really help you right now. And that's something we all, or not maybe not you, but I've experienced this, and I think a lot of people as well, where they have difficulty saying, "Oh, I can't help you," or "I'm unable to do that for you." So we live in a society where there's a lot of sense of obligation, give and take, and having to repay or being indebted to people, right? So being able to say no, I can't help you, is probably one of the trickiest parts for especially for the type 2. And there's that 2ness in all of us that's also there. But for the type 2, that's their hiccup and where they trip up is being able to not help someone and be able to say I need help, because they're going to gravitate back to this I have to help people. And the imposter syndrome version of the type 2 is that if I'm not helping someone, then things are not right. The basic foundational thing that I do is me being helpful for people and doing things for people or providing or otherwise being generous and giving. This leads to the self sabotage. They give even if they feel depleted, or sometimes they try to give more when they're depleted. And there's a further attempt to provide more, be even more generous when their tank is actually empty. Because there's this unconscious motivation of the type 2 and belief that by helping when I'm depleted, I will be repleted. I will receive some sort of return on this investment I'm making to other people, and then my value will be accepted. What I'm doing will be acknowledged, and then aha, I'm filled up, I'm nourished again. But it doesn't really work that way. How it really works is giving out of place of nourishment and nurturing, which is what I talked about in the type 2 thoughts, a more expanded talk about that. So for many type 2s, what's going on is that they're kind of leading by the heart, right? This sense of identity, uh, the sense of feeling important, and they also pull in aspects of their groundedness and their body, or the physicality more so. That's more accurate. But now there's this loop of a should I say like a hamster wheel between the heart and the physicality, that kind of puts the type 2 into their self-sabotage, imposter syndrome of I have to keep giving. Oh, I'm not really worth attention or love, so I have to do things for people and be able to serve and be generous. And to break out of that, the secret, well, maybe secret is going a little bit too far. The tip or the shock needed is to bring a new perspective, right? Is to bring a new thought, bring I wouldn't say think outside the box, but invite in a thought from somewhere else. So ask someone for their opinion, for their thought, for their perspective. Or it could even be a book, but the fastest way is to find someone and ask them, right? And it simply can be, hey, friend, family member, stranger, whomever, what do you think? What is your perception of how I'm doing? Am I useful? Am I important? Do I have a kind of a place? Am I contributing? And for the type 2, it's an obvious yes. If someone sees how much they're working and trying to do things for people, anyone seeing that would say yes. It's just that a type 2 thinks it's not enough. I haven't given enough, I haven't done enough, so I have to say yes. I have to do this and that, and I have to make sure people's needs are taken care of because that's how I will get my needs satisfied. So the lesson for all the physicians out there, especially, well, not especially, a little bit more so for those that are involved in clinical medicine and patient care, is to be able to say, I don't know what more I can give you right now, but I'm depleted, and hey, I need help for me so I can help other people. And breaking out of this hamster wheel of I gotta keep giving, and then you follow the hamster wheel, and then you're like, yeah, the hamster's not doing so. Yes, we all need to be taking care of ourselves, and for the type 2, that's maybe a little bit harder. But even more importantly, I would say let others take care of you, right? Ask for help and ask for their thoughts, people's perspectives, or just their help. Hey, I need your help, or be there for me, or something like that. And that's what the type 2 needs, well, all of us needs, but the type 2 especially, so that they can rely on others and not be the one that everyone relies on, because that just ends up being a hamster wheel that ends up being their how they self-sabotage. And in a way, there's this wonderful, not wonderful, but interesting triad between the imposter syndrome, the self-sabotage, and each type's hamster wheel. And we talked about what the type 2s look. So regardless of who you are, if you're a physician, if you're a type 2 or not, everything here applies to you. It's just that if you're type 2, it just kind of hits you, or is more apparent, or more of an important aspect to consider. So if you're a type 2, then this should definitely be able to be something that's clicking something with you, hopefully. And if you don't know what type you are, that's okay too. You can still apply this lesson, but definitely knowing your type helps you figure out a lot more things. If you don't know what your type is, then you can reach out to me. I help do professional Enneagram typing and helping physicians using their Enneagram type for their self-awareness, wellness, wholeness, and personal development. So you can reach out to me, and you can go to www.theenneagramforphysicians.com or find me on social media at Dr. Francis Yu. See you later.